The Dodgers suffer their worst home shutout loss in their history. LeBron James wonders why Mike Malone is a stage 5 creeper. And the Rams, even with the NFL's best receiver, are mid. Good morning. I'm James. This is your daily dose of sports and snark for the greatest sports city in the world, Los Angeles. This is the faithful Angelenos Morning Report. It is June 18th, 2023. I'm in Oklahoma City, about a mile or two away from the airport. It is also Sunday. It's the Lord's Day. So take a moment and thank God for the blessings that you have in your life, because they are there. And by the way, one of those is LA Sports. So if you like being in the know about LA Sports, clickety-clack the like button. Clickety-clack the subscribe button. There's a notification bell. Hit that. It'll let you know we drop new content. Sharing is caring. Let people know we exist. And yeah, comment. Even though the fact that I'm in an industrial park in Oklahoma City. I get it. Now, before we go through the news and notes, a look at the scoreboard. Had to happen sometime. Bobby Miller was lights out for a month. Last night, though, he allows 7 earned runs in 5 2/3 innings. Giants 15, Dodgers 0. We do not sugarcoat things here at Faithful Angelenos. If it's garbage, it's garbage. And this is a dumpster fire on top of raw sewage, on top of a pile of gorgonzola cheese. It stunk. It smelled. There was nothing redeeming. It made you want to throw up. It was that bad. It is the largest Dodgers loss since 19-3, also to the Giants, in 1993. The Clinton administration, for Pete's sakes. Nirvana, Soundgarden, who has the flannels? That's how bad it was. The last time they lost 15-0 at home, they weren't even in LA. They weren't even in Ebbets Field. 1898. That's how long it's been. It's even worse. The Dodgers have lost 9 of their last 13. The only plus side is that they remain just 3.5 games behind Arizona. And oh, by the way, keep in mind, the Giants are now a half game behind LA for second place. So there is got to be a wake-up call coming at some point for the boys in blue. Carlos Vela scored, and LAFC snapped a 3-match winless streak, 2-1. They defeated Sporting Kansas City. Meanwhile, today, Dodgers and Giants again at 1. Tony Gonsolin is 4-1 with a 1.93 ERA. Logan Webb, 5-6, 3.15 ERA. And Connecticut at the Sparks at 4:30. Sparks coach Kurt Miller faces his former team. The news for the Dodgers continues to get awkward. We have been talking at length about injured pitchers. Now it's time for the position players to go down as well. Chris Taylor and David Peralta both left Friday's game. Peralta, much like Julio Urias, much like Max Muncy, has injured his hamstring. He is allegedly out a day or two. Taylor, however, is potentially worse. He had to get an MRI yesterday on his knee. They are claiming now that it is a bone bruise, but they had to inject cortisone into the joint, which feels suboptimal, I must imagine. They're basically trying to make sure he doesn't go on the IL. Mentioning Julio Urias, he threw a bullpen session on Saturday. The belief is if he goes to the minors, that would be if he feels good after the bullpen session, goes to the minors, rehab, try and get back in a couple of weeks. He has been out for damn near a month. He has not pitched since May 22nd. That's a long time without arguably your best pitcher. Now, as a result, there's more change going on in the roster. They promoted left-hander Brian Hudson. He recorded a 2.17 ERA in 29 innings at AAA Oklahoma City. He's striking out people 41% of the time. Now, this is obviously the latest in a series of, honestly, flailing moves to try to repair the bullpen. Taylor Scott was designated for assignment as a result. LeBron James has finally heard all of the trash talk from Denver coach Mike Malone. And it took a while to get to him. You want to know why? Because LeBron James was on the other side of the freaking planet. He was in Europe. He was living his life. And can you blame him for wanting to live his life? Season's over. Didn't end the way you wanted to. He didn't go out like a punk. He was like, all right, well, let's just kind of refocus. Hey, honey, what do you say we get on a plane and go to the Champs-Élysées, the Eiffel Tower, the Autobahn? Let's walk Abbey Road like the Beatles. And then he finds out that Mike Malone is talking the crappy crap about him. He's like, wait a second, I didn't talk crap about you. What the hell's your problem? So on this issue, I am completely Team LeBron. I realize for some of you guys out there, when he talks politics or this, that, or the other, that it gets under your skin. That's fine. That's your call. But you cannot not be Team LeBron on this. He didn't pick this fight. So he goes to social media, quote, minding my business, and I hear I'm on your mind that much, unquote. Exactly. Mike Malone did not post up LeBron. Mike Malone didn't dunk on LeBron. All Mike Malone did was scribble, hey, get the ball to the Joker. No kidding. That's not coaching. Good. Well done, Mike Malone. You ain't that special. So yeah, be Team LeBron on this one. He didn't say dog crap about Denver. And I've been to Denver. I can say dog crap about that town. Lakers assistant coach John Pastorik is going to leave the franchise to join Frank Vogel in Phoenix. He was one of 2 holdovers from Frank Vogel's tenureship of the team. If you recall, Vogel was fired last year. He spent the last year out of coaching. Pastorik stays with Darvin Ham. We do not know why he left. We do not know if Pastorik left because of loyalty to Vogel or if he had an issue with Darvin Ham. Maybe that story will come. Maybe it won't. We've mentioned the idea of Chris Paul getting clipped by the Suns for quite a while now, about a week and a half, and how both the Lakers and the Clippers would be interested. More scribes are saying that their sources are telling them that the Lakers are going all for Chris Paul if that happens. Now, when I mean going all, that doesn't mean cutting him a fat check. They would offer him the league minimum. Now, you might be saying, Chris Paul's a superstar, why would you give him the league minimum? It's because wherever Chris Paul goes, he's still going to get $15.8 million from Phoenix as a result of the contract he signed. So Chris Paul's getting paid no matter where he plays. The point is, you go to the Lakers, team up with Anthony Davis, LeBron, etc., and go finally get that ring that you've been chasing for damn near 2 decades. So here's the thing, though. If they do that, it also gives the Lakers flexibility to rebuild or retain their roster. There are some theories that are coming out, though, that are not necessarily believable. I'm starting to wonder if the Athletics' Jovan Buha knows what the hell he's talking about, or if he has bad sources. Consider this idea that he threw out, that he's claiming he's hearing from people. That if the Lakers get Chris Paul, that they'll keep DeAngelo Russell. Maybe not a bad idea, but here's what he says the plan would be. The plan would be to play DeAngelo Russell all for the regular season so that Chris Paul doesn't get hurt. And then when the playoffs come about, flip the script and have DeAngelo be on the bench for Chris Paul. That's not happening. DeAngelo Russell, look, personal pride at some point kicks in for these players. Nobody wants to ride the bench. Does anybody really think that DeAngelo Russell is going to do all the heavy lifting in the regular season and then willingly go to the end of the bench so Chris Paul can play for 16 games? Really? Of course not. Buha needs to rethink his logic. Pro Football Focus has ranked the Rams receiving core as 14th best in the NFL, which is mid. M-I-D, mid. And by the way, there is a reason that they are mid. It's because Cooper Kupp is not mid. Cooper Kupp is exceptional. By the way, the Rams are between the Chicago Bears and Baltimore Ravens. Neither of those teams have what I would consider an elite receiving core at all. But consider this. Pro Football Focus also added that if Kupp was not on the roster, the Rams would have a bottom 5 receiving core. So it's Cooper Kupp, and hopefully somebody catches a pass, basically. CBS listed the best move made by each AFC team in the offseason. For the Chargers, they're claiming the best move was exercising the 5th-year option on quarterback Justin Herbert's contract. But is it really a good move when it's a freaking no-brainer? And when it's what you're supposed to do, is that a good move? Hey, Ma, thanks for remembering to apply the brakes before the stop sign. Really good. Here's a cookie. Now we're going to start to work on your posture so you can see above the steering wheel. That's not a good decision. That's the obvious decision. The Sparks have 10 players active on, let me rephrase. The Sparks have fewer than 10 active players on their roster. Fewer than 10. You are supposed to have 15. If you are below 10, the WNBA actually knocks on your door and tells you to sign somebody to get it back up to 10. It's called an emergency exemption. So the Sparks used it to sign Destiny Henderson, formerly of the Indiana What's-Her-Names. And I have no idea if she's any good or not. But you let me know what's good in the comments thread. See that segue? I hear you. Let me know what you think the Dodgers have to do and if it is in fact time to push the panic button. Let me know what you think if you're Team LeBron on this little shindig that's going on, this awkward little creeper dance with Mike Malone. And if you enjoy the content, don't forget to subscribe to Faithful Angelenos. We're talking LA sports every single day here. Thank you for watching. I'm James. I'll be back tomorrow from home. Faithful Angelenos is a Kian Cortell Queso production. Take care.